How's it going, lads? Tonight I'd like to talk about a few Star Wars games and some thoughts for the future. That game review thing I've talked about in the last video, I'm still gonna do it. It's just, I got a job now and still trying to get adjusted to that. So, like I said, the game review thing's gonna take some time. Just let you go out now. Well, with that, I'd like to get started on the video. Let's get going then. Star Wars, I'd say when it released back then, it was pretty good. Just outright majestic. Even though I haven't seen the old movies in years. The prequels, I remember liking them too. The new ones, yeah, those. Let's just pretend the new ones don't exist. But, you gotta admit on this one, Star Wars games are pretty fun. Most of them. You got Jedi Survivor, Jedi Fallen Order. Those are the only good new ones I can think of. Technical issues aside. Star Wars Outlaws, it's pretty goddamn bad. Kay Vess looked like Luther from the Warriors. What else? The story's just... What in God's name was it? I don't know, I don't want to go into it. There's other videos for that. Anyway, I'm getting a bit sidetracked here. Let's just get onto the game, shall we? First game we got here is Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original one from 2005. Honestly, if I had to pick between the old and the new one, I'd go with the old one. Because one, the AI is so fun to fight. Fun to fight to the point, it's just made me feel like I was actually in the movies, really. In the universe and all. It's a bit cliched, I know. But it's the only way I can describe it. And the voice lines. The voice lines are just so iconic. If you played the game, I'm sure you know which ones I'm talking about. And the game modes it has are pretty good too. The Conquest ones. Hunts where, for example, it could be Ewoks versus the Empire. Could be the Rebels versus the Wampas, the Yeti-looking creatures on Hoth. Then you got heroes versus villains, basically. Then got the space battles, which I feel like the old space battles are a lot better, because on this one thing alone where you can just go inside an enemy ship, just get inside the vessel and just destroy it from the inside. I've always thought that was a cool idea. Oh, that's all I can think about on that one, so let's move on to the next one. Next game we got here is Star Wars Republic Commando. Yeah, this one, I have to say, this one's the best. One of the best Star Wars FPSs out there. The squad is very, very memorable. You got 38, who was voiced by Tamara Morrison, who did the voice for Jango Fett. You got Scorch, the demolitions expert. And you got Fixer, who's basically just a tech guy. He can hack the consoles. And you got Seth, just basically just being a hardcore fighter, hardcore soldier and all that. Basically the whole squad can just do the same things. But I just like to think that all of them got their own skills anyway. The weapons in here, I always felt like they're pretty good for what they are too. The rifle, no, not the blaster you got. It's basically an AR. That one's pretty good for what it is, and you got a wrist blade right on your arm here. The pistol's kind of weak. The only thing it has going for it is unlimited ammo. The sniper, it's just a sniper. What else could it do? Grenade launcher's pretty good too. And you get to use other weapons as well from the enemies. There's this one on Geonosis where kill Geonosian elite, you can just, I think you can just use his arm as a glorified laser beam. It just uses its own blood. Just shoot a giant beam. Well, not a giant beam, just a beam. Then you got a Trandoshan shotgun on the second section, where you can infiltrate a ship that's overrun by Trandoshans. Later on, you get attacked by the Separatists. Then you basically got let's just call it a Gatling gun. It ain't exactly a Gatling gun, but you get what I'm going for. Always thought that one was a decent weapon. The only thing is, the game basically ended off on a cliffhanger, which sucks because it never got a sequel. It should have got one, in my opinion. Yeah, that's all I can think about on that one, so let's move on to the last one. Last game we got here is Star Wars The Force Unleashed. That one's basically just God of War meets Star Wars. That's the only thing I can excuse me. That's the only thing I can think of on that one. Star Killer. Star Killer is one of my favorite Star Wars characters ever. Enough to the. I've always liked him to the point I wish he got his own movie. Maybe even a TV series. Sam Witwer did a very brilliant job voicing him. I've always liked how the Force was very, very powerful too. If you charge up your Force push, you can just send enemies flying into things, maybe off the map. And you get to use Force Lightning. It can just shock someone and just pick them up and throw them at someone else. It's basically a shock grenade. And there's this one part where you can just use the Force to bring down a Star Destroyer, which is, yeah, to be honest, that part was a bit of a pain in the arse, because you got TIE fighters bearing down on you. The sequel, Force Unleashed 2, I've always thought that was, always thought that one was okay compared to the first one, but yeah, the second one is a bit too short. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind short games. I like short games, and I like long games too. But now these days I just prefer short games. They have a lot of quality in them instead of a long bloated one. That's all I can think of now. Well, I suppose that's all. Like and subscribe if you feel like it. Comment if you feel like it. You do you. See you in the next one.